So if you've ever been on a software project, you know the feeling, right? It can get messy. Well, what if I told you there's a system that turns that chaos into seamless, powerful collaboration? That system is Git. And that's what we're going to break down today, how it works from the ground up.
All right, so here's the game plan. We're going to start with the chaos of coding without a real system. Then we'll introduce Git as the solution, see how it works just on your machine, how it blows things wide open for teamwork, and finally, how you can really master collaboration with it.
Does this look familiar? I mean, come on, we've all been there, saving endless copies of the same file, trying to keep track of every little change, and just praying we don't accidentally delete something important. Look, this way of doing things isn't just slow, it's a total recipe for disaster. Yeah, this is exactly what we mean by code without control. And to really get why the solution is so brilliant, we have to first feel the pain, right? We have to understand the chaos it was built to solve.
So the answer to that absolute nightmare of file names? It's something called a version control system, or a VCS for short. You can kind of think of it like a super smart diary for your project. It tracks every single change, who made it and when, giving you this incredible power to just rewind time to any point in your project's history.
Without a VCS, honestly, it's just a constant battle. It's so easy to just stomp all over your teammates' work by accident. A perfectly good working version of your code can be lost forever. And you've got zero history, no idea who broke what, when they did it, or even why they made that change in the first place. Trying to work on different features at the same time? Forget about it. Okay, so how do we fix all of this? Well, enter Git. It's the modern solution and, let's be real, the undisputed champion of version control.
But here's the thing, not all version control systems are built the same. Older systems were centralized, meaning they relied on one main server. If that server went down, nobody could work. Git, on the other hand, is what we call a distributed system. This means every single person on the team gets their own full copy of the entire project's history right on their own computer. And trust me, that is a total game changer.
And that distributed model, that's exactly why Git is the king today. Since the whole history is right there on your laptop, everything is just lightning fast. It's also incredibly reliable, because guess what? Everyone's machine is now a full backup of the project. And the real magic, the thing we're going to get into, is its superpower, branching.
Okay, so that's the high-level view. Let's bring it down to earth and see how you actually use this thing on your own machine. Just think of Git as your own private project diary. All right, the single most important idea in Git is the commit. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a save point in a video game. Seriously, every time you make a commit, you're taking a perfect, safe snapshot that you can always go back to, look at, or even restore from. No more final_v2_ for real.
So your daily rhythm with Git basically boils down to this simple three-step dance. First, you use git add to basically pick out the changes you want to save in your next snapshot. Then, you use git commit to actually save that snapshot, and you leave a little note for yourself explaining what you did. And anytime you're feeling a little lost, you just use git status to get a clear picture of where things stand. Yeah, that git status command, it's like your personal GPS for your project. It tells you everything. Hey, you've changed these files but haven't chosen them yet. Okay, these are the ones you've staged and are ready to go. And, oh, by the way, here's some new files Git doesn't even know about. It's basically your command center.
Okay, so you've got this down. You're saving your work locally, creating this beautiful, clean history of save points. That's awesome. But development is a team sport, right? So how do you actually share all this great work with your team?
Well, this is where Git's true superpower comes into play. Let's talk about branching into teamwork.
So, what is a branch? It's just an independent path of development. But here's the magic trick. It's not making a whole new copy of all your files. That would be super slow. Instead, a branch is just this tiny, lightweight pointer that says, hey, my new work starts from this save point. That's why creating and switching branches is practically instant. And this right here, this is the core idea of modern software development. You get a totally isolated sandbox for every single change, so you can go nuts, experiment, and not worry about breaking anything for anyone else. Meanwhile, that main branch, it stays clean, stable, and always ready to go.
Okay, so to share these amazing branches, your team needs a central place to meet up. That's your remote repository. It's just a shared version of the project, usually living on a service like Bitbucket or GitHub. And when you first get a copy of the project, Git gives this remote a handy little nickname, Origin. So here's the key part. Once you've made a few commits on your new feature branch, you just run one simple command, git push. That one command takes your branch and all those save points you made and uploads them to that shared remote repository. Boom! Now your team can see what you've been working on.
All right, let's put all these pieces together. It's time to see how we can truly master team collaboration.
So, your new branch is now up on the remote. The next step is to open what's called a pull request, or PR. And listen, this is so much more than just asking to merge your code. It's the beginning of a conversation. It becomes this focused space for your team to talk about your changes before they go into the main project.
And the whole process is really elegant and organized. First, you push your branch. Then you open the pull request using a really simple website interface. Your teammates can then look at your code, leave comments right on specific lines, and discuss the whole thing. And if you need to make changes, no problem. You just add new commits to your branch, and they automatically show up in the pull request. Once everybody gives it a thumbs up, the team lead just clicks a button to merge it in. Simple.
All right, so let's boil this all down to the key takeaways. 1. Git takes that chaotic mess of files and gives you a clean, orderly history. 2. Branches are your secret weapon for working on new stuff in parallel with zero risk. 3. Commits are your project's save history, letting you go back in time whenever you need to. And 4. Pull requests are the gatekeepers of quality, making sure your whole team gets to review code before it goes live. So you see, we go from a complete mess of files to this beautiful, streamlined workflow. That is the power of Git. It's really more than just a tool, you know? It's a whole new way of thinking that lets you build better software faster and with way more confidence. So the only question left for you is, how is this going to change the way your team builds?